Hey guys, you're watching Chaotic TV. We are continuing this Numericable House Cup from Team Millennium with the third game in this series between these in this CBT. And in the bottom left, I'll stop rambling in just a second. We have the green Good Luck, Have Fun, Good Game Zerg from formerly of Team MTW. He is Dimaga.
And playing across from him, I don't know what this is, the 230 position? I don't know. 2 o'clock?
Top right.
130? Top right. There we go. All the way across spawns on Tomb Valley. It's a blue Terran player. This is MarineKingPRIME, currently down with 0 games to 2 in this best of 5 for the finals.
Oh yeah, this is we saw a 6 pool, and then we saw just a standard Roach v Mech game, and it looks like the Roaches won in a big way.
Yeah, MarineKing, he failed the 2 racks pressure, bunker push early in the game, and that just put him behind, and that much behind against in a pro level game, I mean, you may as well just go home because you're going to have a huge advantage going forward, and Dimaga just showed that. He had his macro was all on point, all his gen jacks, everything, the roaches, the roach speed, the roach drops, everything. It was too much for the mech play of MarineKing on that map.
You're absolutely right, and we are seeing that Dimaga does not know that there are cross positions right now. MarineKing, without scouting, is going for CC first.
Yeah, I don't think they're forced on this map, and expand first is very normal on this huge map. The only bigger map I think is Whirlwind, but we haven't even cast again on that in a while.
No, I don't think it was in the map pool for this House Cup.
Being said, Dimaga has went spawning pool first. I don't know. He doesn't have gas, so he's not getting the speed. I mean, you don't very often see pressure with full Zerglings, but I guess he just wanted to have his spawning pool to get his queen out earlier and to be ready in case any weird bunker play happened again.
Yeah, I don't think he'll drop a third until he does scout that MarineKing is across position, and we do see a two barracks follow-up to MarineKing's CC first. Just
using these overlords to scout. Not a really super fast scouting pattern. He could have sent his first overlord up and his second overlord over, but instead he sent his second overlord across. I think it won't be long until we see a third hatchery from Dimaga.
Yeah, he might as well decide to go for it because his second overlord that was hanging out outside his natural was just kind of sitting there for a little while. It probably would have been at MarineKing's base before, or right now, but I think Dimaga's a little worried that the first Marines from MarineKing are going to kill whatever overlord is seen, especially if he went and sent it across the map where there's no safety net for that overlord, like the one in the top left, or excuse me, in the top center now, can just move off into one of the cliff areas. Whatever one is over the ground is going to be dead.
You've got to know MarineKing likes to expand a lot. I mean, we've seen him go triple CC before racks before. On
almost a Zerg player sometimes.
Huh. That's terrible. I can't remember the name of the GSL map that had the 3 bases with 1 choke point. Oh well.
Finally seeing some gas being mined for Dimaga. He's got 2 in his main base, and he's fully saturated, starting to saturate out his naturals.
It feels like that spawning pool first put him quite a bit behind economically. He's got, I don't know. It feels like MarineKing is just ahead right now, looking at everything that's on the map. But that being said, I'm sure they're very even. It's just a weird feeling from looking at what they have. Just Zerg players early on, it looks like they have nothing because all they have is drones.
And now I think Dimaga knows that there is a MarineKing in the top right, but he has not yet confirmed it. I'm curious as to see what's going to happen with Dimaga. He's bringing in a drone to drop a third right now. Doesn't have the minerals yet, so we don't see that silhouette on the ground, but now he has it, and now he's building it. So there are 3 hatches on the ground for Dimaga, two evolution chambers coming out, so he's going to do some double upgrades, and he's actually using them to do a little bit of a block on the front. That's not all that terrific on this map, I don't think, especially if there are siege tanks coming out from MarineKing. He could just pick those off pretty well and cancel any upgrades that are coming out, but we see reactive Hellions on the ground for MarineKing to take this gigantic map's control. And now Dimaga has confirmed that there is a MarineKing in the top right, and losing his Overlord and supply capping him in the process.
Yeah, MarineKing is getting his stim out. He's got a couple more reactive barracks. The command center just started his third command center, so he's dropping it at the third base. So we're going to see a little bit of a macro game going on. He has plenty of production capabilities, so he's going to be safe from any kind of pressure that could just randomly come in from the Zerg player. That being said, I think we're going to macro up here a little bit.
Yep, double eBay coming out of MarineKing. They're both going to be doing that competing upgrades type play, and they are knocking out the rocks on both sides to probably finish at the same time. As we can watch in the bottom left, excuse me. Looks like Dimaga's going to finish his rocks off first.
Hey, Dimaga wins.
Yeah.
GG. Go to game 4.
And he's already loading up some drones at his third base. This third base of MarineKing has been spotted by Dimaga's Zerglings, and he won't send his Zergling Baneling mix in there right now against all of these Hellions and Marines.
These Banelings without any speed are purely defensive at this point.
Oh, his creep tumor's being knocked out by MarineKing. He wants to stall that creep as much as he can, especially before all of these units have their own speed. The Zerglings have their speed, but
this is exactly what reactive Hellions are for. That being said, usually there's queens out there to oppose them, but there's just too many for any queens to deal with. He's even bringing Marines in behind them, so he's just really denying this creep spread for Dimaga.
This is going to be a serious push out of MarineKing.
I mean, he's going to get surrounded by speedlings and banlings, but you see him, Dimaga backing out there. He wants to reinforce this before he gets all this splash damage from the Hellions.
He had the 1-1 finish directly in the middle of that fight, and looks like Dimaga is going to be able to push this back after killing a number of the Hellions on the ground. The Queen is there for protection, and we have 32 Zerglings in production right now that will be able to surround this and kill it off without any problem.
He just wants to make sure, and I wouldn't be surprised to see, after these Zerglings kill off whatever push is happening, I'd be surprised to see them go to MarineKing's base and morph into Banelings and try to bust this. It's just a big investment into Zerglings, and with Baneling speed about done, I could see this definitely happening right behind it.
Yep, we see the surround going out for MarineKing. He's at least going to kill all these Marines. Maybe it won't get the Hellions yet, but all these reinforcing Marines are right now, they're coming in to take out Dimaga's forces before they even get there.
Died before they hit.
Yep, the great splits by MarineKing, saving those last 3, and he's got 4 medevacs on the map right now to keep them fully healed up, and we have a siege tank behind this as well. 4th base coming down for Dimaga in the bottom center of the map, and his creep is starting to move back out. He's got a creep tumor selected right as we are watching, and he does continue to push it forward.
Looks like we're going to see Marine Tank carrying on from here with MarineKing. He's got the armory out just in time to go to 2-2, well, as soon as he can afford it, I suppose.
Yep, he is. He's a little lacking on the minerals right now. Both players are kind of supply capped. Dimaga was, at least until just recently, and the harvester count is well up there, though. So they are using all of the money that comes in as quickly as they can.
We see MarineKing splashing some Marauders into this mix just to deal with the Banelings. You don't see it a whole lot, but a couple isn't such a big deal.
No, it's not too bad.
There's that much gas. It helps you out in the case of Baneling hits.
A lot of times you want to see...
If you can micro them well, which definitely MarineKing can, then it just becomes a huge bonus for you, because Marauders can take so many more Baneling hits than Marines can.
Oh, absolutely. If the Marauders are up front and they can do the damage, or they can tank the damage, that is, oh, that's a great lift by MarineKing against these non-anti-air forces of Dimaga. But right now we see some tanks coming out, and when they're sieged, if he can target fire Banelings, it's even more damage that is not going to hit.
Right as soon as the army goes away, he just drops them again on the watchtower. I wouldn't be too surprised actually to see him pick up those Marauders and drop them on Baneling packs. That's a really good idea to do.
We have the infestor count starting to creep up for Dimaga. He already has pathogen glands.
And Hive is just finished too, so we can see some adrenal glands, some greater spire.
Great flank by Dimaga in this attack, some fungals on the tanks just to help out. The Banelings are moving forward, but the splits are already good for MarineKing, and the supplies even out, and he saves his 4th base.
Yeah, that was
running back home
that was very good. a good attack by Dimaga, just a nice flank for him. There wasn't enough siege tanks, and they weren't already sieged and ready to go when the attack came in. They had to take a couple of seconds, but
Siege tank here is going to be targeting what it can, but all of the great Marine micro from MarineKing is holding off this push pretty decently.
Really strong Zerglings, though. They're at 2-2, and I think so. Here's the Ultralisk Cavern, and Adrenal Glands, and Infestors. So we're going to see this Ling Ultra Infestor composition coming out of Dimaga. And if micro well, that can be really good. This isn't the best map for Ultralisks, but it's not the worst either. There's only a few really small chokes that they have issues with.
I would actually argue that this map is pretty good for Ultralisks. If you can catch MarineKing out in the open, the problem with Ultralisks is, as you said, they choke up really badly, and their AI programming isn't all that great, so they tend to target useless, or they can't target the closest thing to them. Their priorities are firmly affixed, and but against Broodlords, I think MarineKing would be okay in this map. He could just build another couple starports, and the Broodlords would take so much longer to get across the map as opposed to the Ultralisks that he's going for. The Zerg right now having a lower supply than MarineKing. That's not something you want to see as a Zerg player, and MarineKing is pushing forward with his heavy Marine mix, Marine siege tank mix.
Dimaga just got his 5th base up. No drones there yet, but ooh, here comes MarineKing pushing onto the creep. Wouldn't be surprised to see some scans if the creep tumor is taken out again. I don't like the Ultralist choice as much with the number of Marauders that are already being mixed in. Because Marauders are so good against Ultralists.
But the great fungals allow for the Ultralist splash damage to do some good work. Not so much when the Ultralist has no backup. They was being targeted fire by MarineKing. Yeah, it looks like MarineKing's mix of throwing in a couple of Marauders. He might have spotted this or hoped that he could use them against Banelings. Right now we have a heavier Marauder mix because all those Marines died.
Too. I guess the Infestors are armored. Look at that.
Armored and psionic, I believe.
Here comes the 5th base, down from Dimaga. And he's really on the back foot here. MarineKing is expanding behind this. He is just sending more reinforcements across the map. He looks to be in a good spot right now.
Yeah, MarineKing in a 50 supply lead right now. He's got a huge force in the middle of the map. He's just going to push into the main base while he continues to do pressure with this army on the right side.
A bunch of his medevacs got fungal, but there wasn't enough energy to end up killing them, so they're just a bunch of damaged medevacs.
And he's reinforcing
the same thing as full health medevacs,
with a number of medevacs himself in the back, so they're not going to die by anything but fungals or infested Terrans, because there is no anti-air at all for Dimaga. He has no corruptors. He doesn't even have a Spire.
Yeah, I would have really liked to have seen a Spire coming in too, just along with the Ultralisk Cavern. 200 is not a huge investment. Oh, here's a big battle. Huge
attack by MarineKing, soaking up all of the damage are the Ultralisks, but not dealing any damage on their own. A restim from MarineKing. These weak medevacs do have have enough energy to keep healing all these Marines and Marauders, especially during this main battle. MarineKing's taking another 50 supply lead, and he's going to be able to knock out this 4th base. The 5th base is coming back up, but it's not helping right now because it is. Oh wow, that's a whole lot of Ultralisks coming in. 3 more, but if he attacks with them without any support, he's going to be kind of.
King still has what is it? 11, 12, 14 Marauders.
Yep, he's got 19 Marauders actually, 31 Marines, and 11 medevacs to keep healing up everything. He's got a 3rd Terran vehicle weapon. He's on 3-3 right now, where the Ultralisks are on 5-2. So the melee attack is not completed for Dimaga. He has to GG out of this 3rd game. MarineKing takes his first game in the series. I'm having a lot of fun casting. What about you, Eclipse?
Absolutely, always.
Alright, and we're going to jump into Game 4 of the Numericable House Cup Finals in just a second. Thanks, guys, very much for watching. Cheers.
Thanks for walking.